What's up, everybody? It's me, DisBearity here, and I'm here to give you part 2 to how to make a glorious industry within Endzone, a world apart. So, first things first is, if you want to start out building your industry, first, of course, you need a population to do so. So, build all your houses that you can in a direct line. Now, after this point here, I'm gonna need you to pause the game, sit down, and really think on how you want your city to be layered out. Especially if you zoom on out, you can look at your seed and kind of get an idea on how to navigate this world of Endzone. So we're gonna go ahead and zoom back in. And once you do so, the first thing I want you guys to do is build 3 to 5 recyclers. That is the first thing I want you guys to do. The reason why you do that is because you're going to need 3 on cloth, 1 on metal, and 1 on plastic. Cloth, again, as always, is very important because that's what your city, needs to thrive. Like, cloth is like everything, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Later on within the game, you won't need to build as many recyclers because you'll be building the next upgraded building, and that is the refinery. The refinery is a grand building because, first off, you can delete your older recyclers, and then you can shift everyone to the refinery because the refinery will have up to, if I recall, 10 to 16 people, and the refinery will refine cloth, metal, and plastics for your civilization. So very, very important. So let's say you have a lot of cloth. You have a good amount of cloth, and you have a good amount of charcoal. The next thing that's going to be worked out is your tailor shops. Your tailor shops, they need charcoal and they need cloth in order to produce clothing for your factory, for your city. Okay? And so if you guys don't want to have your civilians, by the way, walk a very far distance to go get certain resources, by the way, definitely consider making a temporary storage room. Temporary storage room is very important because your tailor shops or your people who are working on, let's say, workshops and tailor shops, they don't have to travel too far to go get resources, as in they don't have to travel to the bus. So more important stuff to know about your economy is late game, you'll be building a refinery. This refinery will be taking over the jobs of the recycler. Very important, by the way, because long story short, the recycler will be able to produce cloth, metal, plastics, and also electronics while working. That is because there's not enough people able to collect scrap. And with not enough people able to collect scrap, you have to finally turn up to the maximum of actually, let's lower this down back to 3, where it's the scrap collector. You have to turn that up to 5, so that now you have 5 people going in and collecting scrap for your city, and so that should level up the bottleneck. Because scrap for quite a while will be the most important resource in order to collect. Scrap is needed for creating metal. This metal is needed for creating tools, at least sturdy tools, or you can create scrap tools, which scrap tools, they do break, but metal tools are even better. So always keep that in mind when building your industry. So the main thing with the industry is that to make sure that your villagers travel far less than what they have to. The less that they travel, the more that they can produce, and the more that your city can handle. Another thing is when it comes to population, of course, you need quite a big population in order to handle this industry. But at the same time, you don't want to overpopulate yourself. So if you don't want to overpopulate yourself, you want to build a shelter. Shelter is a pretty unique building because it basically stabilizes your population. I usually like to keep the old folks in the shelter and keep the young folks out. That's what I usually like to do because I want the young folks to be working and also producing other children. Now, late game, you will have to be building certain buildings. So if we go back to the resource tab, I talked about the refinery. I'm going to talk about the hemp weaving mill. So the hemp weaving mill will be producing cloth. So that means that you won't be producing cloth from scrap anymore. It'll be from the hemp mill, which is amazing, honestly. Freaking amazing. But it will require electricity and power. So a lot of the stuff, by the way, late game, will be researchable. and you have to be able to, of course, research it. I usually like to rush the refinery first. Then once you research and rush the refinery, then the game is pretty smooth sailing. So you have a mine here. The mines, of course, you need a mountain in order to mine. And as you can see here, the closest mountain here is a little bit down south. So it's where you'll need to I think, what resources do you get from the mine, if I recall? You get a coal, cement, and sulfur from the mine. Then you also have a materials factory, which comes a little bit late game as well, which will have a glass and also strengthened metal. Then you'll also have a concrete factory as well, which produces concrete, and concrete helps with start creating sturdy buildings. And then last but not least is a sand mine. So the moral of the story in this game is that when building an industry, you want to make sure that you don't want to have anything bottlenecked at the end of the day. Because once you have stuff bottlenecked, that's when you're going to go into a rough patch and have a rough time with getting things done. On top of other things, you want to make sure to have an adequate food supply and also a adequate hunting. Well, food. Well, I guess you call it hunting supply as well. And then later on, when you get the chance, go ahead and upgrade your cistern to a water tower. But if you guys have any more questions on what to do with your industry, post down below, because it's like the game can be challenging, quite challenging, but once you get down and dirty to it, it's not as hard as you would think. Like, at least in my opinion, it's just having to you just got to micromanage a lot of things that happens throughout this game, especially your population, because you don't want a high population without getting, having enough clothing for that population, because otherwise they'll all get radiation sickness pretty quickly. But let me know what you guys think of this video in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed this video, please definitely subscribe. That would be very much appreciated. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for your support and all that you guys do. Peace out. Much love, everybody. Have a good one, y'all. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like and also hit the bell notification down below. Thanks for watching.